What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, I know I said it in yesterday's video, if not at least one other time this week, that just because San Diego Comic-Con has passed us now doesn't mean that the announcements or updates are going to stop. Usually is the case. When we get a bunch of brand new franchises and titles, there's new updates and reports across the industry every day that follows. This week has been no different, but today, well, today is the cherry on top, the icing on the cake, so to speak. Kevin Feige speaking candidly with Marvel Entertainment, explaining that there are still a ton of announcements to come from Marvel Studios, and they did not finish unveiling the entirety of Phase 5 and Phase 6. So we're going to break down exactly what he said in this interview, when it took place, even though it just got published today, which announcements he's referring to, and when the most likely place we're going to see or hear a lot of these. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider scoop, interview like we're covering today, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys are going to see this interview in a couple of other places, and it's not going to be cited properly. The most frustrating thing about social media announcements, you have no idea what the context. Even though this was in an article published today, it took place between Kevin Feige and Marvel Entertainment on Saturday night immediately following the San Diego Comic-Con. So you can imagine that Kevin Feige's adrenaline was pretty high. This is what he was saying about the entirety of that reveal, but what's left to come. Quote, "There's so much more to discuss and so much more to unveil, and we didn't want to talk about everything today." Then he goes on to say, in reference to why they revealed the two Avengers titles without a majority of the Phase 6 or some of the Phase 5 slate behind it. Quote, "I think we learned something on every project we do, but as we were laying it out, even 3 years ago as we were laying out Phase 4, which we didn't lay out all of it, but most of you know, we realized it's very different than Phase 1, 2, and 3. And there were more projects in less years, and therefore it didn't seem right to culminate, not going to culminate every 10 months in an Avengers movie. And each of the films themselves now have become quite big in our crossover events in many ways. And after the creative experience we had with Infinity War and Endgame, it felt like it was about capping a saga, saving back-to-back Avengers films for the completion of a saga, and that's what we really wanted to lay out today, and that's why they chose to give us the release date for Fantastic Four and those two Avengers titles at the end of the Multiverse Saga and Marvel Phase 6, because really they were attempting for us to understand their sentiment about how these Avengers films are going to work now, capping off sagas. Of course, they knew that would make a huge splash too, and now we don't have to guess anymore if we're ever going to see another Avengers film or if it'll be Secret Wars. Now, he also went on to say this, quote, "Filmmakers, celebrity talent, and surprise guests will join representatives from Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm, among others, on stage in Hall D23 at 10 a.m. to showcase theatrical and Disney Plus titles. Going behind the scenes of these studios' highly anticipated films, specials, and series, attendees will see exclusive footage and be among the first to learn what else is in the works." So basically, Kevin Feige confirming that the upcoming D23 in September, which it will be bright and early in the morning if you're on the West Coast, is where we're going to hear a lot more about the Marvel Phase 5 and Phase 6 slate. Now, in some instances, this is projects we already know a lot about and have been announced for a while, something like Armor Wars or Deadpool 3 or even the upcoming Werewolf by Night. And if you're wondering why we didn't hear about those this past weekend, it's probably because they had to go through and pick and choose which announcements they were going to save for D23. It might have even had something to do with the quote-unquote celebrity and filmmaker schedules. Hey, can you make it to San Diego Comic-Con? Can you make it to D23? We'll do one of those announcements there. But there were a ton of unannounced dates and brand new projects that we've been touching on throughout the industry over the last year and a half. Shows like Okoye or a Wakanda series, a spin-off series for the Shang-Chi universe, as well as Destin Daniel Cretton now reportedly developing Wonder Man as well. New projects like The Mutants and sequels to projects we've already seen, Eternals 2 and Shang-Chi 2. You can anticipate stuff like this, stuff we've touched on. If there is a curveball coming from around the corner, a series none of us see coming, like a solo Adam Warlock film, well, that would be amazing, but I wouldn't hold your breath on that. We've pretty much, in the industry, been touching on all of the titles, and I'll probably do a follow-up this weekend for every unannounced film that we know is coming. There are some fan favorites though that, if they really want to make a splash and truly come to fruition, would make the biggest headlines. Number one, confirmation of their upcoming World War Hulk film that's basically been rumored in every place across the industry since late last year. Another, of course, would be The Mutants, the announcement of the first X-Men movie. The bombshell revelation was dropped earlier this week, if you somehow didn't hear it, that Marvel Studios may not be able to contractually recast and use the X-Men until 2025 because of some of the original contractual agreements Fox Studios had with those actors. If you remember, Disney actually bought Fox. 20th Century Studios is what Fox used to be, so they would have to honor those original contractual agreements, not get the X-Men until 2025. Now, knowing that that's the year we have the next major Avengers crossover, Marvel Studios probably doesn't want to miss the opportunity to get them involved, which means it's really likely we also have an X-Men or Mutants film coming in 2025. And as Eric Voss so aptly noticed in a key piece of dialogue from the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania footage, it seems as though Cassie Lang used the word "we" to refer to her in Ant-Man doing what they do in the Avengers, which means the formation of the Young Avengers may be right around the corner as well, and I would anticipate that announcement as they'll want to get that team in on Secret Wars. So we have a ton of team announcements, and if I'm right about either of those, you'll have the Fantastic Four, 2 Avengers movies, and either a Young Avengers or an X-Men movie, all within 1 year of each other between November of 2024 and November of 2025. And as if that isn't enough, what's yet to come from Marvel Studios is still crazy stuff like a Midnight Suns crossover. Kevin Feige even recently talked about what's coming from Eros and what's going to happen with him and Pip the Troll. If you know anything from the comics, they're probably going to end up teaming with Adam Warlock. Man, my old school comic heads, did you ever think we would end up in this place? I certainly didn't. Let me know all your comments down in the comment section below, guys. I am all ears as always. Had some really interesting conversations in the comment thread with you guys yesterday. I'm all ears. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s every 20,000 subscribers, all the way up to 1 million. The next milestone is 980, which we are headlong into, could easily hit by this month's end or next. So if you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. Speaking of which, I am currently in a competition from Odyssey, which used to be radio.com, to open up an insane show in September of this year, actually at the Hollywood Bowl in LA. And I've made it through the first 2 rounds, and they're cutting to the top 10 for my group in the next 7 days. And it is free to vote if you have a Facebook account. I know that that is ultra boomer style, but I think it's just an attempt by them to stop people from making Gmail accounts and spamming. So there's a link down in the description, down in the comments. As long as I'm in the competition, the link will be active. So if you see the link, I'm still in it on this video or another. You can vote for free every single day using a Facebook account. Just follow the link and cast a vote for me, and you can vote for free every 24 hours. So if like you vote today and then you remember 3 days from now and you're like, oh, I should check, is he still in it? You can vote again. You get one every 24 hours, and I would really appreciate it. But you don't have to do that. You could just like this video. It's much easier, and you don't even have to do that. Just thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.